Well, welcome back to the Steve Rob Show. Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to do a little bit of experimenting. Do you have too big of an air compressor? Because this is what I've seen so many times, is a lot of do-it-yourselfers get themselves a big 80-gallon Wampin air compressor. And do you need it? And we're going to try it out with this new Makita MAC 2400 I have. And we're going to see whether you have too much air compressor. Can you have too much air compressor? We're going to start the testing out with this. And this is the Ingersoll Rand. It's a terrific gun, 2135 Ti, and it takes 5 cubic feet per minute to run. And everybody should have one of these. Get your own, make it up yourself, buy it in the store, I'm not too sure. It's very easy to do. Just got one coupling here, a T, you're fitting at the other end, and just the air gauge. Guys, I got the compressor hooked up to a 25-foot hose. Supposed to be a 25-foot hose. I measured it. It's 22 feet and a bit for a 25-foot hose. I don't know. I'm going to start measuring the hose from now on. But it's a 1/4-inch hose, and there's a lot of loss in the line. I'm going to show you what's going on here. We're going to test the compressor out to see if this is the type of compressor that all you really need. You don't need a great big huge compressor. First of all, burns a lot of hydro. Second of all, you have all that volume of air that you're never going to use. Sometimes, yes, if you have like a sandblaster or something like that, sure, it's warranted. But can you get away with something like this that's nice and quiet, efficient, doesn't take up a lot of space in your garage? And so far, I'm liking this thing. I've been using it quite a bit, and I unplugged it at night and just watched the gauge in the morning, and guys, it didn't drop. So there's no leaks on it or anything like that. Fantastic compressor, and it's pumping up a little bit faster now than it did before. Like it's close to just over a minute from bone dry empty. So let's get testing here. Well, here we are right here. I've got the hose all hooked up, and if we take a look down here, I'll try to get you in where you can actually see something, but it's pretty tough, guys. I don't know if you can see that right there, but that's 130, and I got the tanks gauges maxed right out, both sides. They're both the same. So let's start testing this and see. First thing I want to do is set it up where I can show you the drop. So let's go to that first. Okay, so there we are right there. Now you watch that gauge when I pull the trigger. Okay, so let's see if I can take these other ones off here. I'm only going to take off 3 more because I haven't got it up on jack stands or anything. But I tried to get everything in the shot here, so let's just take a look. Okay, so I got you zoomed in on the compressor dials, and when I use the torque stick to tighten all the wheel nuts up, I made it go just to above 100, so it will kick in. And let's try taking some off and see if it holds. Well, guys, what do you think? Here's the compressor. It's charged back up completely. Now, I'll tell you what. If you're just set your compressor in your garage at 90 psi, which these are supposed to run at, you would never get a wheel nut off. You have to jack that air pressure up and up and up. And a lot of people are worried about having too much air pressure at the impact. And it's not safe to run an impact at too high an air pressure. Now, this will show you exactly what your outlet pressure is. The static pressure here of 130 psi is not the running pressure. So I don't believe that you can test it without having a gauge. And I believe in the gauge myself. It proves what kind of test that you can do from one side of your air compressor to the inlet of your air compressor. So there is a huge drop, and that's something that you got to really take into account. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people just set their air compressor at 90 psi and they're wondering, like, how come they're not getting nothing done? But yeah, I think you can have too much of an air compressor. This air compressor here is fine, takes off the wheel nuts, no problem at all. I got a 1/4-inch hose and a so-called 25-foot lead. And guys, yeah, this is no problem. This is no-brainer. I don't have all kinds of room in the garage taken up, so if you're thinking about getting an air compressor, a small one like this does the job fine. This here has enough capacity to run the air compressor. No good for a sandblaster. I wouldn't use it for a sandblaster, but for all-around use for a do-it-yourselfer, I think it's a great idea. And for you guys thinking about it, just make yourself up one of these. It's like, I got this at Princess Solder. You can get these gauges anywhere. It might cost you 15 bucks by the time you put it all together. And it's well worth it, so you could test it and not just guess on what the air pressure is, because you can put too much air pressure at the end of the line there. So thanks for joining in. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again, guys. Let's have some more fun doing this. Bye now.